Through Pendulum, your weekly column in this day, you were a prominent voice for the APC presidential candidate, Muhammadu Buhari. He's now president, as you wished. How do you rate his administration?
You see, what I've realized, having worked, with a few influential people in the past, is that the more powerful you are, the more difficult it becomes for people around you to tell you the truth. So right now, I think there is an information gap between President Buhari and the people of Nigeria. And so only people like us who genuinely worked for him. I didn't work for him because I was a member of his party. I'm not a member of APC. I'm not a member of PDP. I am not a minister. I'm not a special advisor. I'm a volunteer. I volunteered because
Would you have liked to be?
It's only like. If I liked to be, I would have joined the party. A lot of people blackmail us, say, oh, the reason they are talking is because they are not made ministers. Anybody who is desperate to be made a minister will first of all join a party. People don't even know the process and the procedure most times. You have to be a member of that party. I've never been a member of APC. But my concern is for Nigeria. And my concern is for Buhari to succeed. Because everywhere we go now, people attack us. But the truth is, there is trouble in Nigeria. And the mindset that I see in government is that of people who say, oh, it's because we're blocking corruption. So those who are complaining, they used to make free money. They no longer make. It is the job of government to make a country prosperous. It is not the job of government to impoverish the people. So when you see people gloating over the poverty that has invaded and ravaged the land, then something is wrong. Something is wrong. Nations are not governed by saints. Nations are governed by performance. You can't fight corruption when people are poor. People think corruption begins with greed. No, it starts from need. These are things I wish I can sit down with the president and tell him that don't have this mindset that every Nigerian is just corrupt. There are people who are forced into corruption. An average Nigerian cannot survive on his daily income, even if you're a bank manager. Because, like Chief Abiola used to say, the bigger the head, the bigger the headache. So today we must have a credit system. We are attacking human beings. We're not attacking the institutions that breed corruption. And I hope that those in government will think outside the box and go beyond. We arrest a few governors, we arrest a few ministers. That will never change anything in Nigeria.
What will bring the change?
That's what I'm telling you now. That one of the areas that I've identified is that we don't look at the nations, the so-called developed nations. We all run there. Go to Britain, go to America. You will never see any developed nation in the world that has no credit system. If you tell our people, they say, oh, it's difficult because we don't have the database of, credit history. No, but you must start from somewhere.
You were a presidential candidate in the 2011 elections. What did you learn about politics and about politicians when you made that bid for the presidency?
It was a very big lesson. And truth is, Nigeria is not ready for the proper change that we all shout about. For example, I was very idealistic. I felt that I needed the workers' platform to galvanize Nigeria into that revolution, a bloodless revolution. I expected that the young people will contribute their 5 naira, their 10 naira, we opened accounts so that we will not be contaminated by the big lions in the big political parties. So I joined the Labour Party. But little did I know that the Labour Party itself was not immune to the problems of Nigeria. So eventually I got frustrated and I had to leave. And I thought which party would be closest in ideology and principle to Labour. And I chose the National Conscience Party, which was founded by Chief Gani Faweyimi. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough firepower to make me president. So the lesson to learn is that in every society, maximum you will have 2 very strong political parties. The others usually are on the fringe. The other lesson is that you need a lot of money. Even in America, you could see how much Hillary was able to raise. And even Donald Trump, with all his wealth, sometimes was still begging people to donate to his campaign. People sell their houses, sell everything, just for them to contest an election.
Isn't it actions such as those, selling of personal property, that cause the kind of
massive corruption,
that we witness?
Yeah, it is. But if the people are not ready to make sacrifice, I'm a Christian, and every part of the Bible, I read about sacrifice. Abraham was asked to sacrifice a son. Even God sacrificed his only begotten son, Jesus Christ. Sacrifice. The essence of life is sacrifice. Are Nigerians ready and willing to sacrifice for what they want? And that's why I told you that I'm not sure we're ready.
What kind of sacrifice are you talking about?
Everywhere else, you will not hear of one rich man who will put 20 billion down for one man to win an election. If you give me 20 billion, and tomorrow I come to talk to you about corruption, then I'm the biggest hypocrite on earth. But if the people themselves were stakeholders and participated and cooperated in raising donations, then you can all speak as stakeholders. But in a situation where everybody is waiting for what can I eat, but nobody is ready to say, this is what I have to give, the guys just refused to contribute money. I remember there was a day I sent out a text message to about 1,000 people. Only 2 people responded. And one of them, a good friend of mine, a lady, gave me 200,000 naira. So what would I do in an election? I had ideas. I linked up with the British Labour Party, and they were ready to help us formulate policies in the area of housing, education, agriculture, transport, and so on and so forth. I was very serious. People thought I was joking. I wasn't joking. I don't joke. Anything I do anyway. Anybody who knows me very well knows that I was very, very prepared, and I was ready, and I knew the things I wanted. A social welfare package for Nigeria. Because a country as poor and impoverished as Nigeria must have a social welfare package. We cannot practice hardcore capitalism. Like I always like to put it, you cannot practice capitalism without capital, which is what is happening in Nigeria. We say we are capitalists, but we lack the capital. We need to engage our able-bodied men and women, our brightest stars. We need them at what we call a star-studded cabinet. We just have problems everywhere. And when you have problems of that magnitude, what do? You go for your best brains. How did Awolowo do it in the old Western region? He surrounded himself with the best brains. And you listen to them. Don't just surround yourself with best brains, because even in this government, we can identify a few people who would have sparkled if given the free hand to operate. So don't just assemble them. You must also listen to them. You must also give them the freedom to be able to do certain things, take certain decisions on behalf of government. The bureaucracy is killing us.
Would you be throwing your heart in the ring again anytime soon?
I doubt. You see, that's one of the lessons I've learned, that you should not become a professional or a career contestant whereby every election you just contest. You will lose value. I've done it. I've learned my lessons. I got burnt. I'm willing to support any candidate who I believe can do it better. If Nigerians, in their collective wisdom, then decide that yes, they want someone like me, either as president, as vice president, as whatever. But what I won't do is what some people do, is you want to be president today, tomorrow you want to be governor. When you don't get that, you want to be senator, then when you don't get that, you go to the House of Reps. I'm not that kind of person. My job has given me a lot of fulfillment. I enjoy what I do, innovation, and I intend to continue.
Mr. Dele Momodu, we thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, my dear sister. Thank you.
And we thank you for watching. Please join us next time when the program returns. But between now and then, let's continue our conversation online at channelstv.com. You can watch this and previous editions of our program on channelstv.com or on youtube.com. And do follow me on Twitter at @ModelSY. Thank you again for watching, and we hope you'll join us again soon.